They might as well call it Inauguration Week because what happened yesterday is going to reverberate for some time. After the inauguration ceremony, the swearing in of Donald Trump as our new president again, he went to the Oval Office and then signed a bunch of executive orders like these.
First, we have a list of pardons and commutations relating to events that occurred on January 6, 2021.
Okay, and how many people is this?
I think this order will apply to approximately 1,500 people, sir.
1,500?
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Yes.
Full pardon.
On day one, just like
pardon.
he promised.
We have about 6 commutations in there where we're doing further research. Nice to see you again.
And there we go. And this isn't about just clearing their record. Many of these hostages are still in prison. Many of them were sentenced to well over a decade in prison when they didn't attack police, they didn't break anything. They just happened to be members of the Proud Boys. And a few of the members on the list of full pardons are Enrique Tarrio, the then, I don't know if he still is the head of the Proud Boys, the then head of the Proud Boys, and Joe Biggs. And after Joe is released, guess where he's going to do his first interview? It certainly isn't going to be with CNN or MSNBC or any of the mainstream outlets, not even Fox News or Newsmax. It will be with InfoWars. Joe Biggs used to be a contributor, a correspondent for InfoWars, and I guarantee you that will be the first interview that he does. Because we don't need the mainstream media since we are the new media. And have you seen Alex Jones lately? He's lost like 80 or 100 pounds over the last year and shaved his head, and it's looking pretty badass. Here's the new Alex Jones, and compare that with what he used to look like. That is an incredible transformation. Making America great again by making America healthy again. And as you probably heard yesterday during his last few minutes as the supposed president, the technical president, Joe Biden issued a bunch more pardons to his family members, including his brother and Dr. Fauci, General Mark Milley, and members of the January 6th Kangaroo Committee, which tried to persecute President Trump, and we're hoping that he would be in prison today, not in the Oval Office. And here is old Joe in December of 2020, after he was declared the supposed winner of the 2020 presidential election while Donald Trump was still in power, and was being asked about the rumors that Donald Trump was going to issue preemptive pardons to his family members and to members of his administration, which, of course, he did not do. In hindsight, he should have done it. He underestimated just how low the Marxist Democrats would actually go.
President Trump is reportedly considering a wave of preemptive pardons. Does this concern you? All these preemptive pardons?
Well, it concerns me in terms of what kind of precedent it sets and how the rest of the world looks at us as a nation of laws and justice. You're not going to see in our administration that kind of approach to pardons. Nor are you going to see in our administration the approach to making policy by tweets. It's just going to be a totally different way in which we approach the justice system.
There is no limit to the level of the hypocrisy of the Democrats. Here's Jamie Ratskin, who was on the January 6th committee, saying that the only people who need preemptive pardons are those who are guilty of crimes. And of course, well, like I said, he got one.
Well, the seeking of pardons is powerful demonstration of the consciousness of guilt, or at least the consciousness that you may be in trouble. And that's what's so shocking about this.
Congressman Adam Schiff, pencil neck, who received one of the preemptive pardons for any and all crimes that he may have committed over the last decade that are known and unknown, had this to say when the rumors were rampant that Donald Trump was going to do such thing, which again, he never did.
Have you ever heard of somebody getting a preemptive pardon who was innocent of all crime? Who's just an innocent person? Have you ever heard of that? Just somebody getting a blanket pardon and they're an innocent person?
But no, it's the president's own family. It's people that have been covering up for the president in addition to his own family.
Every single accusation is an an admission of their own guilt.
Is there an innocent explanation for someone to seek preemptive pardons for family members? Would you do that if you knew you were innocent and just worried about outside forces?
The answer to that is going to be no. If you haven't done anything wrong, you sit there and go, what do you need a preemptive pardon for?
If he pardons people preemptively, he's essentially telling the public that these people have committed crimes.
Oh, yes, they did. Let's go back for a moment to the new executive orders that President Trump signed yesterday. This one sounds particularly interesting.
President Trump, if cartels are now going to be seen as foreign terror organizations, would you think about ordering U.S. Special Forces into Mexico to take them out?
Could happen. Stranger things have happened.
And why shouldn't we? I mean, what's Mexico going to do about it? They can't even supply clean drinking water to their own citizens 2.5 decades into the 21st century. And here he is at the Liberty Ball talking about another executive order that he had signed previously last night.
We don't want to have men playing in women's sports. We don't want to have transgender operations for everyone. And we just want to have a great country.
That's correct, sir. And I would imagine any moment now, this individual and all others like whatever their pronouns are being rounded up and being expelled from our military.
Not a day goes by that I'm not grateful to be serving at this period of time. Being able to undergo a full gender transition beyond hormones, laser hair removal, Botox, lip injections, hair lowering, like literally cannot be more thankful to be alive now.
It cannot be more crazy that our tax dollars are paying for this and that this individual, well, up until last night, was allowed to be in the United States military. And we couldn't make it through the first day of the new Trump administration without a fake news story that the media concocted by taking something out of context. Here's PBS News, and just many of others repeated this, claiming that Elon Musk gave what appeared to be a fascist salute on Monday while making a speech at the post-inauguration celebration for Donald Trump at the Capital One Arena. Here's the clip out of context that they're spreading around, and then I'll tell you what actually happened here.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
What he did there was thank the crowd for supporting President Trump because now he thinks that they're going to be able to send a manned mission to Mars and plant the American flag on Mars, and said that he wanted to give his heart to the audience. And so then he grabbed his heart and sort of pretended to then throw it out to them, which then I guess it did kind of look like a scary gesture that a regime almost 100 years ago used to make, that people hallucinate, still being made around every corner in America these days. Elon Musk is definitely not a Nazi. In fact, after he agreed with a certain post on Twitter that somebody else had posted about what a certain group of people was doing regarding promoting anti-whiteism, a certain group that you're not supposed to criticize ever for any reason, no matter what. If you disagree with somebody in that group about the best flavor of ice cream, then the ADL will call you an anti-Semite. And so then Elon literally, this looks like a meme, but this is an actual photo. He went on an apology tour and then toured a concentration camp over in Poland with, and seriously, I'm not making this up, Ben Shapiro as his handler. But that's not stopping the tweets on TikTok from completely melting down, thinking that now they're in the midst of a fascist takeover.
Hey guys, everything feels really out of control and scary, and I'm really anxious. Elon Musk, did a Nazi salute for some reason. That's so scary. And Donald Trump's the president, and that's so scary.
You know, there is a silver lining to TikTok being back online. It was taken offline, you probably heard, for a half a day over the past weekend, and it has been restored. They still might try to force the sale to an American company, which they should. But the fact that it's back online means that we will have an ample supply of liberal lunatics giving us their tears. And Alexander Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez posted this video, I think on her Instagram account, which may end up costing her millions of dollars in a defamation suit.
All these journalists are like, Congresswoman, are you going to the inauguration? Congresswoman, are you going to the inauguration? Are you going to the inauguration? Let me make myself clear. I don't celebrate rapists. So no, I'm not going to the inauguration tomorrow.
Well, honey, unlike many of your Hollywood elitist friends, Donald Trump is not one of those. But this could very well get Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez sued for defamation because George Stephanopoulos over on ABC said the same thing about Donald Trump, calling him the terrible R word. And then Donald Trump sued him for defamation, and then they knew that they were going to lose, and the jury was going to award them a ton of money. So then they settled for $15 million in penalties. We're not in Kansas anymore, sweetie. We're not going to tolerate this kind of defamation and your idiocy any longer and just roll our eyes and laugh at you. We are now going to start using the same tactics that the Democrats used against us against you. Speaking of lawsuits, this whack job thinks that she should sue Donald Trump for causing her emotional distress.
Guys, how do you feel about the lot of us, blue voters, filing, I don't know if it would be a civil suit or a class action suit against Donald Trump and his minions for the stress and the anxiety and the effects on our mental health and physical health and well-being, along with the suffering of our relationships that Donald Trump has caused us?
Please file it, because I can't wait for you to get countersued for filing a bogus lawsuit and then having to pay for Donald Trump's legal fees. And speaking of money, you can save 20% off any of my shirts at markdice.com this whole week for Inauguration Week by using the promo code ULTRAMAGA at the checkout. So, order your Libertarians mug, because you're definitely going to need it. Your Fight, Fight, Fight shirt, the MAGA Mafia shirt, the War is a Racket shirt, or any of my awesome designs, all available in a t-shirt, long sleeve, and a hoodie, and a whole bunch of different colors as well. So, head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out.